tad bit late to the game tonight, but thank you so much for tuning in. Please hit the share button, hit the love button, hit the thumbs up. We're going to talk about how they are coming after us, even without the court's approval. Let's talk about it. Or where they went, they caught 78 known terrorists within the beginning of this year alone. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in. Like I said, if you haven't already, please hit the share button, hit the thumbs up. I do apologize again, running a little bit late tonight. I have some technical issues that I had to work out, and I think I got them worked out. Hopefully I got them worked out. So please hit the share button no matter how or when you are watching this. Let's talk about the Hunter Biden laptop. Is it okay to talk about the Hunter Biden laptop? You remember Joe Biden went onto the debate stage and he talked about the Hunter Biden laptop and he said, President Trump is lying. We had 51 independent researchers say that the Hunter Biden laptop was a lie. It was all
Russia.
Russian propaganda. You remember that? I remember that like it was yesterday. And President Trump is there. He said, no, it's all true. It's all true. And the liberal media during the debate, they go, well, Trump is not true. They were siding with Joe Biden, knowing good and well that it was 100% true. And it was not
Russia.
It wasn't Russia propaganda. Biden literally lied to the American people, and they're still lying to the American people. You have the DOJ, the FBI that were complicit with the lie. They were with it. We talked about it the other day. What's the guy's name? It's just throw me off right now. All these technical issues I was having. It's over the DOJ. Ray. No. What's his name?
He's over the FBI. Ray is.
But yeah, he's the one that had in the emails with Hunter Biden, right? That's what I'm thinking about? Or it's not Garland? Or is it Garland? I apologize. I can't even remember right now. But
I mean, Garland's over the DOJ.
I thought it was Garland that was meeting with Hunter Biden in the White House when Joe Biden was the VP.
Stinking Blinken. Okay, I was wondering where you were going. Okay, Blinken and his wife. Did we talk about that on this show?
I don't think we actually did.
They coordinated while Blinken was working for Biden or for Obama.
No, I got you saying it right.
You do. Under Obama. Oh my gosh. Obama. That's another one we could use.
Obama.
Yeah, they coordinated on the laptop story while he was working for Obama, Blinken, and his wife. So yeah, that came out last week or this week. Yeah, I don't even know. There's so much going on. I don't even know what things coming out anymore. Making us dizzy.
You know what? It is making us all dizzy, right? Because they keep spinning stuff. They keep lying about all of it. So let me share this with you. This is one that was on them talking about Joe Biden being on a debate stage, literally saying that President Trump was lying and President Trump was telling the truth. And now none of the liberal media, none of them coming out and said, well, we were wrong for siding with Joe Biden. We were completely wrong.
Yeah, they're not even touching this story.
No, they're not. They're staying away from it.
They didn't say anything about Blinken. They didn't say anything about the laptop and the whole
stinking Blinken.
All the lies that were told during the...
They say nothing. Listen to this.
His campaign colluded with the CIA to get 51 former intelligence officers to sign a document that said that Hunter Biden's laptop is Russian disinformation just weeks before the 2020 election. And then he went on a debate stage and lied through his dentures.
I like it. He lied through his dentures. talking about Joe Biden. I'm surprised they would say, okay, we can't say that about Joe on here. This is Fox. We can't say that about Joe. Don't talk about his dentures. You're talking about the man in the White House. I'm surprised they didn't stop him and say, look, we can't talk about his dentures on here. That's degrading. I'm surprised they didn't say that. But anyways.
To the American people about that. And to me, that should be disqualifying right off the bat. How do you run for president? He should be impeached and prosecuted on that alone.
Exactly. He should be impeached and prosecuted on that alone. Really? On that alone. Because, he went on the debate stage and he told everybody that what President Trump was saying was a lie when all along it was not a lie. What Joe Biden was saying was a lie. What the liberal media was saying was a lie. What the Democrats were saying was a lie. What the federal government was saying and the federal government doing is a lie. They're the ones that lied. They're the ones that deceived the American people. And not a single one of them come out and say, well, you know what? We were wrong. We were wrong to tell you that the Hunter Biden laptop was disinformation, was Russian propaganda. We were all wrong. They're never going to say that. Why? Because it's part of the agenda. That's what they wanted to do. That's what they wanted people to believe. And they still want people to believe it, amongst other things, right? Amongst other things. They put all this fake information out there trying to get everybody to believe it. And a lot of people still believe it today. I was actually out on the streets talking to someone and they were talking about, well, Trump colluded with Russia. Russia. I'm like, are you kidding me? Even after the Mueller report and Mueller came out and said there was no evidence that President Trump colluded with Russia, did Russia try to do something? Sure.
And let me ask you.
All countries try to do something. We did something to Israel. We did something to other nations. Of course that happens. But President Trump never colluded with Russia. And these people that lost their minds, they still believe that President Trump colluded with Russia because that's the only thing they want to believe.
And what perpetuated that lie?
The Fisa court.
The Fisa, which we're about to talk about.
Yes, we're getting ready to get into that Fisa court. The Fisa court is the reason why all of that happened. And they want all of us to believe otherwise. Come on. It's such total corruption. They're not even hiding it any longer. They got caught. And we're going to get into some more of the information about the Fisa. But I want to share one more thing before we get to that. This is about the puppet. And the question is who the puppet masters are, right? Because there's more than one. And I would say that Obama is one of the puppet masters. I think everyone would agree. Please hit the share button on this. No matter how you are watching this, please hit the share button on this. I have information I want to share with you that everybody needs to see. Look at this one. I can't ever remember his name or get his name correctly. I think it's Razmi. I know a lot of people have a problem saying it. I'm admitting it, right? I have a terrible problem with names anyway.
That's one of those names. I don't know why I can't remember it either. Yeah. I always say Ramazway or
Ramazway or something like that. And I never hear other media personalities say his name either. At least I'm missing it maybe. But listen, he's actually calling out who the puppet is going into the 2024.
Is this the worry that Biden is not going to be able to finish out 8 years and Kamala Harris is going to be our president?
Well, I think the biggest farce.
Now, you hear what she's just said, right? Because I believe, and I'm going to take it back a couple of seconds. I believe that they're only putting Biden there for one reason. So he'll be there maybe a couple months if he even lasts up until 2024. But they're only saying this because they want Kamala Harris there, because they want to be the party that has the first woman. And once they do that, the country, my personal opinion, and I pray that I'm wrong, they put Kamala Harris there, the country will never bounce back. I want to be wrong. Please, Lord, allow me to be wrong. And people can say, well, no, Will, you're wrong. You're wrong. I'm with you. I want to be wrong. But they want Kamala Harris. And the country, if they put her there, World War III will be within a couple of days, more than likely, because she's a total tyrant. She's worse than old Biden, if you can imagine.
Kamala Harris is going to be our president?
Well, I think the biggest farce is the idea that it is Biden running for re-election at all. Forget whether he's going to finish 8 years. He wasn't even really the one who started the 8 years. He's a front man for the managerial class. They have put him up as a puppet that they can control. And so his cognitive deficits, that's not a bug. That's a feature to them. And so I think once we see through that, the rest of it starts to make sense. It almost doesn't matter to them who sits in the White House as long as it's someone that his handlers in the managerial class can control. Susan Rice stepped down. Well, my guess is she's going to be playing a big role. Pay attention to who's pulling the strings, not who the puppet is.
Yeah, pay attention who's pulling the strings, not who the puppet is. And then he's talking about Joe Biden's his state of his mind. When Joe Biden has already lost his mind. Remember, he said,
I got hairy legs.
He said stuff like that. He said his gaffes all the time. Even the liberal media were like, don't give Joe Biden the teleprompter. Just give this the raw Joe. Like him saying the stupid stuff is okay on the world stage. Don't give him no teleprompter. Did y'all see the latest? Joe Biden, when he was he was actually like it was a press conference, right? He just did a press conference. Was it yesterday or the day before? It was something like that. Shannon, did you see this? I meant to ask you about this earlier. Well, he's there. He has the card. And he has a card with the reporters that he's going to call on. And then he has the picture of the person and had to pronounce the person's name. Maybe I need that for when I pronounce their names. Yeah, so y'all put it in there so I can say it right.
Yeah, they asked KGP about that today. I saw an article and she was saying that's just normal. That's not out of the ordinary. That's not a non-issue. That's
what I mean. Yeah, it's not out of the ordinary for him. Because he's been doing that repeatedly. I remember the first time they were talking about it, he was overseas after he talked to Putin.
Russia.
And then he was supposed to come out and talk to the press about what he did, what was discussed, right? What was the discussion about? And guess what? It took him 3 hours. 3 hours before he came out to the press because they were like, man, where's he at? What's taking so long? Putin had already talked to everybody and was bounced. And they're still waiting hours later for Joe Biden to come out. And then when he came out, he had a card in his hand. Okay, I'm supposed to call on so-and-so. And then they had the Q&A on the card. That's not normal. President Trump tonight took questions. And he didn't have a card. He'd say, okay, let me say, we'll go with you. And we'll go with you. And President Trump, you know what? It's pretty rare for an event for President Trump to take questions from the crowd like that. President Trump did that. He's done it before. No. I'm talking about, this was like a rally event.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
I don't ever recall President Trump taking questions at a rally event. And I've been to events where it's just me and maybe 15 or maybe 20 other people in the room, and President Trump doesn't take questions there either. So this was pretty rare. And the reason why President Trump was taking these questions to say, hey, I can just take a question here, which one? Someone give me a question. Give me a question. And, they all want to ask him a question. He didn't have a card. He wasn't doing it by script. Joe Biden can't do it unless he has the script. He can't do it. In other news, Attorney General Braggs, this dude is ridiculous. He's going after President Trump. Let's make it full screen. He's going after President Trump, which we all know. He indicted President Trump. And now that he indicted President Trump, he is not wanting to share the information with President Trump's legal team. It says, just in, Manhattan DA Alvin Braggs has filed a new motion to keep President Donald Trump from having unfettered access to some of the evidence his office will present in the porn star payoff hush money case against him. What is he hiding? What is he hiding? What is he hiding?
Yeah.
Why can't President Trump's attorneys get access to what they're accusing President Trump of? So in this case, you're just guilty until proven innocent for the left. They do this with everything. You're guilty because we say you're guilty, and you're not innocent because we don't want you to be innocent. No matter what, President Trump could be on the other side of the world and something happens in Australia and they're blaming President Trump. They blame President Trump for everything. Get him off the screen. They blame President Trump for everything.
And you know what, though? It's completely not right, because he has to build a case or a defense. And how can you build a defense if you don't have access to the evidence against you? It makes no sense. They've been saying that is not right. That is even unconstitutional for him to be able to defend himself.
Well, they said they've done this in the past. There's some people saying that, some attorneys, they can withhold the information from the defense team, so then that way they can get a gotcha or surprise when they go to court. I've never heard of it. There's no equal justice under the law when it comes to the left. There's not. It's for they are above the law, being the left, and everyone else is under the law. And if they want to change the law on the whim, you just have to live. You know what it's like? It reminds me how they changed the community standards on the whim. And if you violate the community standard 3 years ago and they just made it up today, they go 3 years ago and they penalize you.
Oh yeah, that's retro.
And then that's exactly what it is. Like, oh my goodness, you said so and so 3 years ago. We're gonna get you now for it. They penalize you today for it. It's the same thing. It's the same thing that they did Brett Kavanaugh. Remember, they went to get Brett Kavanaugh over a fake story that wasn't even real for years ago. But they said he was guilty. And just like now, they still say that he's guilty. Now, let's get to this Fisa issue. The Fisa courts. You remember when President Trump was running for office in 2016, they used the Fisa courts to go after President Trump. Hillary Rodham Clinton went through the Fisa courts and they came up with this fraudulent case to spy on President Trump, this dossier, and no one questioned it. Even after the fact, that no one said anything about it after the fact. We knew what happened. The judge, all of them should have been said, wait a minute, they brought us fraudulent information and we acted on it. They knew it was fraudulent.
Now they're part of the puppet makers.
They knew it was fake. They knew that it was not real, and they still went along with it. And nothing ever happened to them. Why? Because they said, we can do this and there's nothing you can do about it. Now, listen to this. This clip here absolutely exposes what they've been doing all along, and they've been doing it ever since. And under the Biden regime, they've actually increased these fraudulent cases against the American people. Millions of cases, actually.
I lose sleep over the 3.4 million warrantless searches of Americans' communications using Fisa Section 702. 3.4 million warrantless searches in 2021 alone, which is nearly triple the approximately 1.3 million queries in 2020. And while reports indicate the FBI conducted fewer queries in 2022, it still made roughly 559 searches per day. That represents, in my opinion, intelligence officials breaking the rules 559 times per day. I lose sleep over the fact that Section 702 information acquired without a warrant can later be used by the FBI in criminal prosecutions unrelated to foreign intelligence or national security. And I lose sleep knowing that the FBI has misused privileged warrantless spying power to conduct rogue surveillance on innocent Americans. To me, this is not a partisan issue.
Wow. I mean, just playing it out there right there.
I mean, really, something's really stuck out to me. He said they use these warrantless searches more as soon as who got into office?
The Biden crime family.
2021, it went up as soon as Biden got into office.
It went
exponentially went up. And he said it was rogue agents. And you know what they're doing, Will? Just like this administration has done so many times now, they're weaponizing the power of the government against the people. And it makes me sick because we sit here and we listen to these young people that you're going to show later in the show today. They're saying, oh, we're the ones fighting fascism. We're the ones that are fighting for democracy. And I'm sitting here going, you don't even know what you're talking about. You are more concerned about somebody that has a different thought than you when we have a government that's being weaponized against the American people. I mean, this is not right.
It is really disturbing. So listen to Matt Gaetz as he's talking about this as well, and how the FBI, or how they actually went in and they were raiding American homes. This is, a lot of people go, it would never be like the 1940s Germany here in America. I'm telling you, there's people that saying it would never be like that. I'm one of them. I used to say we would never reach that status of it being like the 1940s Germany. I used to think that we would never get to that. I'm like, wow, why would anyone want to repeat that? Where they've actually already started doing it. Listen to this. It's unbelievable. They've already started tyranny in America of millions of Americans being raided on warrantless searches. Because of what? And then again, they increase this under the Biden regime. Who do you think they're targeting? Who do you think they're targeting?
I want to get into the 3.4 million backdoor searches that the ranking member pointed out in his opening statement. Mr. Inspector General, how should the public think about those?
Well, I think what we've seen in the various public reports, and I'm limited in what I can say about what's public, which I think is one of the issues, by the way, that's worth talking about, is transparency here. It's obviously very concerning that there's that volume of searches, and particularly concerning the error rate that was reported on in the last 2 years in the public reporting. Now,
And that error rate was what?
I believe it was around 30%. I think, fellow members, I think it's around 30%.
Well,
Around 30%. So, they like to fudge the numbers lower if it's going to make them look bad. So it's probably like around 39.9%. Well, since this, has a 3 in the front of it, we'll just say around 30%. It's probably kissing 40. I mean, these people are corrupt. This is like the most corrupt federal government in American history. I mean, my God, the corruption at the level that it is, and they're doing it in our faces, and they're telling us that there's nothing you can do about it because we control the law in the country. And if the law in the country is going to do our bidding, meaning the FBI, the DOJ, the CIA, and a whole lot of rest of them, there's nothing you can do about it. Tell me, send me a message on what you say we can do about it, because I know I've had people in the past say, well, we have the Constitution. I agree. But how is that helping us today when the tyrants are in control? It's a valid question. Be mad at me, but I'm just asking you the question. Prove me wrong. How is it going to help us when the tyrants that are in control don't adhere to it? It's a valid question.
30%. I'm a lawyer, not a mathematician, but 3.4 million, about 30%. You're talking about 7 figures of error in terms of these searches. I'm wondering how many people can perform these backdoor queries.
I'm going to defer to board members because you have the review ongoing.
I'm afraid I don't have those figures at my fingertips in terms of the number of people that can conduct those types of searches. But I share the concern expressed in the question that we need to have greater safeguards, and I urge Congress to incorporate a requirement for FISA court review of these kinds of searches to protect Americans.
But they're not going to do diddly. Because if that was the case, they would have been looking into the FISA court when Hillary Rodham Clinton did the fake dossier. They're not going to do anything. They can have these hearings all day long, but nothing is going to happen. It's like the only purpose of these hearings is to bring awareness to the American people in hopes that you will be an informed voter. That's it, because nothing's going to happen. These people are criminals. Does anyone really truly expect the criminals to do something about their criminal activity?
I mean, well, I have to say, one of our biggest problem here in America is the low information voter. So hopefully this will be effective in that. But the sad thing is when we go to look at the news tomorrow, as much as you may not like Fox News, they're probably going to be the only one that has an article about it. No one else will be talking about it. No, and maybe the Epic Times, which is my favorite. Yeah. But everyone else, they're not even going to touch the story. And so the people who need to see it, hear it, listen to it, are most likely not going to
hear it. And when they get wind of it, they'll ignore it. They'll ignore it.
Fourth Amendment.
Yeah,
right.
3.4 million backdoor searches, more than 1 million of them in error. If I represent to you that we believe there may be north of 10,000 people in the federal government that can perform those queries, would anyone here have a basis to disagree with that assessment?
No.
10,000 people can just make up a query. 10,000 people. 10,000 tyrants Oh, look at this. Oh, we don't like that person there. Let's get them. We don't like that one there. Let's get them. Let's get them. And then on top of that, then we have the IRS. IRS. I mean, come on. Is it ever going to end? Now, McCarthy, one of the first things that McCarthy said that they were going to do in the House is get rid of these 87,000 armed IRS agents. So I guess the Democrats found another way, a workaround to get these armed IRS agents into the states of America.
Well, to try to eliminate some of these IRS agents, it is in the debt limit bill that they proposed and passed yesterday.
Is this on the screen? Let's put it on the screen. Is this the article here?
Yeah, if you
Scroll
remember,
it down a little bit. Scroll it down a little bit because it's cutting off the headlines. Yeah,
if you remember, the Democrats kept saying, oh, this is really about we need more technology. We need more agents to answer the phone. Do you remember all those things? They totally dismissed the fact that they were going to be armed agents. Not that they didn't say it wasn't, but for the most part, they're saying, listen, this is what this money is going to. Well, today, guess what? The IRS is hiring gun-carrying special agents in all 50 states. The branch of the IRS is called Criminal Investigation Division. It says that they will be authorized by law to carry and use firearms. They will investigate financial crimes, money laundering, tax-related identity theft, and terrorist financing efforts.
Wow.
It says this.
Does it say when this goes in effect?
They're doing it right now. They're hiring. They're
hiring right now. So you, the American people, if you're a leftist tyrant, you can, and I'm pretty sure they're not going to do conservatives.
And listen to this, Will.
Right? You can be a tyrant to go and attack conservatives because that's who they want to do. I take that back. They're not going to target conservatives in this alone. They're going to target every single person who wants to make a living, who wants to turn the lights on in their home. They're going to target every single person.
Oh yeah, they want their money. They got an agenda that they need to finance.
Yeah.
It says under the posting, it says major duties section. The IRS says that the special agents carry a firearm and must be prepared to protect themselves or herself. I'm surprised it didn't say he, she, it, or others from physical attacks by any time without warning and use firearms in life-threatening situations. I think it's interesting that they want to make sure that these IRS agents that are collecting money for the government are able to protect themselves, but they really aren't worried about some of these Americans in their homes protecting themselves.
Yeah, they want to make sure the law-abiding citizen is unable to protect themselves. That's what it really comes down to. And then you have Joffrey's, right? Because this is part of the debt bill, right? This IRS nonsense, correct?
Yeah, this was him arguing before they voted.
Yeah, so let's listen to Joffrey's. Okay, have you ever watched Game of Thrones? Y'all remember Joffrey's in Game of Thrones? I mean, just the name fitting. I mean, because oh my goodness. If you watch Game of Thrones, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And it like fits him to a T. If you haven't watched Game of Thrones for Joffrey's, just go watch it for that. But anyways, listen to what he says. And of course, he's alienating half the country like he normally does. He has nothing else to say. And he always keep talking about a certain group of people. Nothing ever changes. He's going to continue to keep telling everybody that it's the MAGA Republicans that are the problem. You understand what I'm saying?
This reckless Republican effort to lead us down the road of a dangerous default will hurt working families, hurt the middle class, hurt all those Americans who aspire to be part of the middle class, hurt young people, hurt seniors, hurt veterans, hurt the poor, the sick, and the afflicted, hurt people in urban America, in rural America, in exurban America, in small town America, in Appalachia, in the heartland of America, hurt the least, the lost, and the left behind. The extreme MAGA Republican Default on America Act will hurt everyday Americans.
Wow.
Why? Because you want to jam your reckless extreme ideology down the throats of the American people.
Wow. So
reckless
right. So
ideology.
Let me I love if we were not on Facebook and YouTube right now, I would tell you what they're throwing down the throats of the American people. And do you know what that is? What topic could I possibly talk about that? Facebook and YouTube would get really worked up and riled up if I was talking about what the federal government is throwing down the throats of the American people.
You know what? Well,
I think you know what that is.
I didn't hear him say Christians. Did you?
He actually, the new Christian is the MAGA Republican. That's what it is. What you're saying, so instead of them saying Christians,
but he didn't include MAGA Republicans in it.
Huh? Yes, he did.
Okay.
Did you miss it?
He was criticizing MAGA Republicans.
But that's what he's talking about.
But he wasn't saying that he was there to protect.
No. He's saying MAGA Republicans are the ones who's creating the problems in the country. Yeah. Who doesn't want everyday working people to make a living.
I'm saying the people that he included that he was fighting for was not Christians.
No, he said they're the ones who's causing the problems.
Yep.
That's what he's saying is causing the problems. Christians. That's essentially what he's saying. That's who he's saying causing the problems. Okay, we are at that point. If you would, did anyone bless our broadcast?
Let's see.
Because we're at the point. Let's go ahead and do a split screen on this.
Yes. So we did get some Facebook stars. We have Paula. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Paula.
Tommy, Cindy, Donna, Brenda on Facebook.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Okay, everybody, there it is right there on the screen.
I do want to say one thing while we're getting ready to move over.
I just want people to pay attention to it right there on the screen. If you go to rumble.com/Will Johnson/live, you can see this live right now, which you see the rest of the broadcast, which will be on there. Or you can go to my website, which is uaf.media right there at the bottom, and then just click on it. And my producer made it really, really nice. I mean, I look at it. This is like, she did a phenomenal job. uaf.media. And when you go to it, it looks like an app. It looks like an app. Right? So I'm giving a little time right there for people to go to it. uaf.media. And once you go there, you can just scroll down a little bit. You can see my LFA TV. Then you see Facebook, which I'm on right now. And then there's Lindell. And then you scroll down, you see it in green. Click to watch me on Rumble. You'll see it right there when you go to uaf.media. It's actually really slick. I'm like, wow, this looks really good. It's really understandable, easy to see, easy to understand. uaf.media, check it out. All right, meet us over on Rumble, everybody. We're getting ready to go over there right now. And for everyone who's not going to go to Rumble, because there's some people that don't want to, and I'm not mad at you. It'd be nice if you would join me though. God bless you, and we'll see you tomorrow. Thank you so much for being there. Thank you so much for sharing the video on Facebook. Please hit the share button if you haven't already. Actually, it shows me that there's 47 shares on the videos. Let me refresh it. Maybe it says 173 shares. Help me get to 200 shares on Facebook. Help me get to 200 shares, please. I'm asking you nicely. Please is nicely, right? And on YouTube, thank you so much. Hit the thumbs up on your way out. Thank you so much. On your way to Rumble, let me put it that way. On your way to Rumble, hit the share button and hit the thumbs up. We'll see you over there in about 30 seconds. Yep, just waiting for you. Okay, I see it go down on Facebook. And we're good on